All right, ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Today, we're going to explore the career of someone who, well, let's just say he's done a bit of everything.
Color me intrigued.
Robert Trick Johnston.
Oh, wow. That name rings a bell.
Yeah. And trust me, the resume we're looking at is basically a roadmap to a life less ordinary.
Less ordinary. That's putting it mildly.
Right, we're talking sports, stand-up comedy, photography,
Mm-hmm.
even mentoring some pretty big names you've probably heard of.
Okay, now I'm really interested. Where do we even begin with a resume like that?
Well, how about the very beginning?
Sounds logical.
It looks like Johnson started out as a ball boy and linesman for the Canadian Open tennis tournament back in the 70s.
The Canadian Open, wow, that's the Rogers Cup now, isn't it?
You got it. And right after that, he's off on an outward-bound adventure in the Canadian Rockies. What do you make of that combo?
Well, it definitely suggests someone who, even as a youngster, was drawn to both structure and challenge, wouldn't you say?
Right. Like, think about the precision you need as a linesman in tennis.
Absolutely. Every call has to be spot on.
And then contrast that with the unpredictable, rugged environment of the Canadian Rockies.
Talk about a complete 180.
Totally. It's an intriguing duality. Like, he's comfortable with discipline, but also craves adventure.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like this is someone who thrives on pushing boundaries, testing limits.
And get this, just a year later in 1983, he gets a bravery award from the city of Toronto.
A bravery award. Wow.
No details on the resume, though, so we're left to wonder what kind of heroic act he pulled off.
Oh man, that's frustrating, but also kind of exciting.
Right. Like, the mystery just adds another layer to his story.
Makes you want to dig deeper, for sure.
Okay, so back to the resume. Johnston was a champion on the Ontario junior rugby team, a triathlete, and even competed on university swim and tennis teams.
So not just an outdoorsman, but a serious athlete, too.
Yeah, this guy clearly loves a challenge and a team environment, too.
You know, it makes you wonder if that athletic background played a role in his later pursuits.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about the stamina needed for stand-up comedy, the physicality of mime, the focus required for photography.
Yeah, these are all fields where discipline and a strong work ethic are essential.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Speaking of stand-up, it looks like he started performing back in 1986.
1986, wow. That's before I was even born.
And get this, he's still going strong.
Wow.
Talk about dedication to the craft.
Seriously.
Yeah.
To stay relevant in comedy for that long, that takes more than just talent, right?
For sure, it takes adaptability, a willingness to evolve your material, and a deep understanding of what resonates with audiences.
You also have to have thick skin.
Yeah, that too. He even opened for Jay and Dan Live and was a guest on their podcast.
Jay and Dan, no way.
Wait, so clearly he's got some recognition within the industry.
Okay, so we've got an athlete, comedian. What else?
Get ready for this, because things are about to get really interesting.
Lay it on me.
The resume takes a hard left into the visual arts.
Wait, what?
We're talking photography, graphic design, film production, even 3D compositing. This guy's got, like, every creative skill imaginable.
Whoa, hold on. 3D compositing, isn't that, like, super technical?
Yeah, it's essentially combining visual elements from different sources into one seamless image. And you need a strong grasp of perspective, lighting, composition.
All skills that are also essential for photography and film.
Exactly. It's like his mind is wired to work with visual language in so many different ways.
This guy is like a Renaissance man.
Right. And the variety of positions he's held is mind-blowing. Photographer for Ron James and Russell Peters.
Those are some big names in comedy.
Then he's a professor of comedy at Humber College, a guest artist at a high school for the arts, and he's a sales agent for European travel. It's like he can't stop seeking out new experiences.
I'm getting exhausted just listening to this.
And we're only getting started. But it does speak to a certain restlessness, a desire to constantly learn and grow.
Definitely. And you can bet all that diverse experience probably influenced his teaching and mentoring.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of which, he taught mime and stand-up comedy.
Wait, mime and stand-up? Those seem like total opposites?
Right. But maybe they have more in common than we think.
Interesting. You've got me thinking now.
He even developed a course called Rants for Rent. I'm dying to know more about that. And he mentored a future performer for the Blue Man Group. Talk about a unique career path.
Okay, that's pretty cool. The Blue Man Group, that's like performance art on another level.
Totally. It highlights how these seemingly different fields are actually connected. Both mime and stand-up rely on physicality, timing, knowing how to connect with an audience.
Yeah, and the Blue Man Group takes that to a whole other dimension. It's like music, visual art, and performance all rolled into one.
And Johnston seems to have a knack for identifying and nurturing talent in these unconventional spaces.
Okay, so this guy's got range, but what about awards? Has he won anything?
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah.
Get ready, because the award section of this resume is wild.
Hit me with it.
First up, an exposure award with a photo displayed at the Louvre Museum.
Hold on, did you say the Louvre?
The Louvre.
As in the Louvre Museum in Paris?
The one and only.
Wow. That's not just any photography exhibition. That's a huge deal.
Right. To have your work showcased in one of the most prestigious art museums in the world, that's got to mean something.
It means this guy's got a unique eye, a mastery of technique, and ability to capture something truly special.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, he wins a Toronto Star Photography Gold Award for sports photography. Clearly, he knows how to capture those split-second moments of action and emotion.
It speaks to his versatility, right? Like, he's not just a one-trick pony. He can excel in different genres.
Exactly. And hold on, there's more. He also won a comedy pageant.
No way, a comedy pageant.
Wait, I mean, it really showcases his range as a performer. He can command a stage, win over a crowd with wit and presence.
So he's not just funny. He's got that charisma, that stage presence that just draws people in.
Exactly. But arguably, the most impactful part of Johnston's resume is his dedication to mentoring a new generation of talent.
Oh, that's always inspiring to see. Passing on the torch, so to speak.
And we're not talking about just a few names here. We're talking about a whole roster of successful comedians, actors, performers who have all benefited from his guidance.
Okay, so spill the beans. Who are we talking about here?
First up, we've got Dave Merhay.
Dave Merhay, he's got that Netflix stand-up special, right?
Yep, that's him. Then there's Nathan McIntosh, who's been on Conan and The Tonight Show.
Wow, those are some big-time late-night shows.
And Nathan Fielder, the mastermind behind Nathan For You.
Oh, Nathan For You. I love that show. It's so brilliantly awkward.
I know, right? So, some seriously big names in comedy. And they all received guidance from Johnston at some point in their careers.
It's amazing to see the impact he's had, like helping to shape their comedic voices and, navigate that crazy world of entertainment.
It really highlights the ripple effect of his influence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it goes way beyond his own individual achievements.
Absolutely. And it shows a real generosity of spirit, a willingness to share his knowledge and experience with others. And it makes you wonder, what kind of advice did he give them? What secrets did he share that helped them reach those heights?
Right, like was it a specific joke writing technique? A stage presence tip? Or maybe it was just his belief in their talent that gave them the confidence to keep going.
I bet it was a bit of everything, a mix of practical advice, encouragement, and maybe even some tough love when they needed it.
Yeah, probably. And the list goes on. Eaton Millstone.
Eaton Millstone, he's the one who gave that really thought-provoking TED Talk.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And he created that hilarious YouTube series, Rick and Chuck.
Oh, yeah, Rick and Chuck. That's classic.
J. Wells LaCoyer was also part of Rick and Chuck. And then there's Tony Nappo, who's in that animated series, Forget About It. So Johnston's influence stretches across different mediums.
It's like he's got this Midas touch when it comes to comedy. Everything he touches turns to gold.
Right. It really speaks to his ability to recognize and nurture comedic talent in all these different forms.
And to think, he also mentored Elaine Rochefort.
Wait, Elaine Rochefort, the one who went on to perform with the Blue Man Group.
The one and only. I mean, talk about a visually stunning, incredibly unique performance style.
It's mind-blowing. What kind of creative input do you think someone like Johnston could have had in a career like that? Like, did he teach him how to apply blue makeup or something?
I doubt it was that literal. But maybe it was about helping Elaine tap into his physicality, his ability to communicate without words, and create a sense of wonder, of spectacle.
It definitely aligns with Johnston's own background in mime and his love for visual arts.
Exactly. It's all connected.
And let's not forget Ajay Fry, that charismatic host of YTV and Space Channel, and Alan Park from Royal Canadian Air Force. It's like everywhere you look on TV, you see someone who is influenced by Johnston.
He seems to have a knack for spotting people with that it factor, that spark of charisma, that stage presence.
And then there's Sarah Hennessy, who won a Canadian Comedy Award for Favorite Female Stand-Up.
Oh, Sarah Hennessy, I love her. She's hilarious.
She was guided by Johnston, too, both at Humber College and Unionville High School. It's great to see him championing female voices in a field that let's be honest, hasn't always been so welcoming.
Absolutely. It shows a commitment to inclusivity and a recognition of the amazing talent that exists beyond the traditional boys' club of comedy.
Right on. And we're not done yet. Alexander Ian Sharp.
Wait, is that Alexander Ian Sharp who won a Tony Award for his performance in The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime?
That's him. From stand-up stages to Broadway, Johnston's impact is everywhere.
It's wild. It really speaks to the universality of the skills he teaches. Communication, stage presence, the ability to connect with an audience on an emotional level. Those are valuable in any performance career.
So true. And get this, even Hayden Christensen, who played Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars, got guidance from Johnston during his high school years at Arts York Drama. I can't help but picture a young Darth Vader practicing mime moves. Ha ha.
Oh man, I love that image. It just goes to show that those early training experiences can really influence your path, even if it seems totally unrelated later on.
Right. Who knows, maybe some of those lightsaber skills were honed in a mime class. And there's more. Mark DeBonis, who won Yuk Yuk's $25,000 comedy competition.
$25,000. Wow, that's a big win.
And Ari Weinberg, the artistic director of the Winnipeg Jewish Theater. It's interesting how Johnston's influence extends beyond individual performers. He's impacting the institutions that support artistic talent, too.
Yeah, it shows a dedication to fostering a thriving arts community, both through mentoring and supporting organizations that give new artists a chance to shine.
Okay, so we've gone from ball boy to bravery awards, mime to stand-up, photography to mentoring future stars.
Correct.
It's a lot to process. What's the biggest takeaway for you?
For me, it's got to be the sheer interconnectedness of it all. It's not just a list of achievements,
Yeah.
you know? It's more like a tapestry, woven from threads of athleticism, artistry, mentorship, and this deep curiosity about the world.
That's beautiful imagery. A tapestry, I like that.
It really makes you think about how all these different experiences can inform and enrich each other.
Totally. And I'm struck by how non-linear his career path is. It's not like climbing a ladder. It's more like a choose-your-own-adventure story, full of twists, turns, unexpected detours. It really challenges the idea of what a successful career should look like.
Right, and that's so inspiring. I mean, this resume proves you don't have to fit into a box. You can be an athlete, an artist, a mentor, a teacher, a comedian, all in one lifetime. And it's a good reminder that, sometimes our greatest strengths come from those unexpected places where our different interests and passions kind of overlap.
I love that. Like the magic happens in those unexpected overlaps. So what do you say? If we had to boil down this whole deep dive into one key takeaway, what would it be?
One key takeaway. That's tough. But I think for me, it would be don't be afraid to explore, you know? Embrace your curiosity, connect those dots, even if they seem really far apart.
I like it. Don't be afraid to explore. It's like a permission slip to try new things.
Exactly. And you never know what amazing things you might create along the way. Like, think about it. If Johnston had played it safe, stuck to one path.
We wouldn't be talking about him today.
Exactly. And, if you're listening and you're feeling kind of stuck, unsure of what your next move should be, take a page from Johnston's book. Try something new. Challenge yourself. Step outside that comfort zone. You might just surprise yourself.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
And hey, if you're wanting to dig even deeper into Johnston's career, really see all the twists and turns, we'll have a link to his resume in the show notes.
Definitely check it out. It's a document it'll spark your imagination, that's for sure. And maybe even leave you feeling a little inspired to embrace the unexpected.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through Robert Trick Johnston's amazing career. Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep creating.